a few papers named because they have influence. They have a strong influence on our community, not only from the research perspective, but also from a very practical domain. And this year, again, there have been a few papers selected by a committee from our SIGMOBIL executive committee for the Test of Time Awards. And Test of Time Awards are kind of the most, well, how to say, prestigious awards, SIGMOBIL awards. And you really have to change the world a bit with a paper that you wrote possibly at a time where you're not really thinking that this might be the really big thing, but after a couple of years, it turns out that it is. And so today we have two Test of Time award winners here in MobiHoc. Let me start with the first one. You all know this paper, right? You all know about the protocol that massively shaped actually the mobile ad-hoc networking world. AODV, everybody knows AODV, so there's no introduction needed. AODV is in every classroom. AODV is in essentially every paper that compares some protocols that are used in mobile ad-hoc networks to a standard, and the standard again, AODV. And AODV was published at a rather small event actually, many years back. So the authors are listed on the screen already. Charlie is here. Elizabeth, unfortunately, she had to cancel the trip on a very short notice because her husband is in hospital. And so the two of them prepared a protocol, this AODV, many years back, published at a smaller workshop, turned it into an IETF, well, big thing that was discussed, also controversially discussed for many years. And meanwhile, I just checked yesterday, the paper received 27,000, so adding 3 zeros to the 27 citations so far, which I don't know. Have you any paper in mind that received that many citations? I really don't know. So I guess there's no further introduction needed. Charlie is here. Please come on stage. So hopefully this is the right one. I unpackaged a little at least. There's some, I don't know, savers up here. Charlie, a real pleasure for me to have you here and to hand you this Test of Time award. Thank you very much. Thank you. Charlie prepared a couple of slides. Let me bring them online, and then the stage is yours. Here you go.
Is this working? About this, is that better? Okay, good. Well, first of all, I want to just tell you I am so deeply honored to be here. I'm having a hard time taking it all in, and the MobiHoc guys have been so wonderful to do this. And second, I want to mention that Dr. Elizabeth Belding can't be here. She intended to be here, but there's essentially a medical emergency and she cannot be here. So that's too bad because she so richly deserves to be part of this. And I only have, 5 minutes or so. So in true industrial fashion, I prepared for you a slide. I'm not going to get through that in, 300 seconds or so? Actually, I'm kidding. I'm not going to go through all this stuff, but I will make the slide available for anybody that wants to know more about the various evolutionary things. And, I should tell you something else. I'm really nervous. And so I'll try not to let that interfere with my talk, but I just wanted to say a few things about what AODV has really been for me, and to a large extent also Elizabeth. So I know there's been the source of many innovations because I've been involved with some of them, and I get a lot of ideas from other people that have gone off and done interesting things with it. For instance, in IEEE 802 wireless, there's a group 802.15, and they use essentially AODV for layer 2 routing, which could be a big deal. We're doing Internet of Things right now, and or have been doing it. And layer 2 routing and even AODV scales up to 10,000 devices, depending on how you manage protocol details. As Falco mentioned, I was shocked to find out that there were 25,000 academic citations for AODV. If you type it into Google, you get over 500,000. So that's actually kind of a lot. And but most of my involvement with AODV has been within. How many people here know what IETF means? Wow, that's amazing. Okay, well, it's the Internet Engineering Task Force, and AODV has been under standardization in various forms in IETF since late 90s. And it's not all good because of various reasons, but when something is starting to be successful, it also can create tension because people want to take over part of it or claim part of it or patent part of it or who knows what all. And at the time, in the late 90s, early 2000s, it was really a nightmare for Ericsson and other companies because imagine they get money out of every byte that goes over the air, over, for instance, LTE, and here we have something where you can do it all for free and with your friends, and that's that. So they didn't like that very much. It's been quite an adventure and still going on. I was not ever associated with any employer that the main name would end with EDU. And so I was associated with IBM, where we did initial work. Praveen Bhagwat and I did something called direct destination sequence distance vector. And that had the idea of using sequence numbers to prevent routing loops and to also make sure that any information that was accepted for processing would be the most recent available. So that led to AODV, and then I went to Sun, which is not university, Sun Microsystems, and Elizabeth came as a summer intern, and we just went to town. She did a lot of work, and at that time it was simulation. By the way, I mentioned earlier, you should never use the unit disk model for simulation unless you're really hard up, because unit disks are not good models for radio transmission. So I never made any money on it. I don't think Elizabeth ever made any money on it. The other people, Samir Das and Ian Chakras and so on, they, as far as I know, never made anything out of it. And it's not even actually done yet. I could point out a few things, but there's the idea of reactive protocol, which AODV certainly is, and proactive protocol, which is more, you might say, traditional, which you maintain route tables everywhere. And as far as I know, nobody has characterized exactly when one is better than the other. So I kind of know how to do that. If anybody wants to work on that, please let me know. Or if you already know the answer, please tell me. And lastly, I'll just mention, certainly with Dr. Belding and other people, really have been proud to be associated with them because, well, they're just fine people and sharp with many good ideas. So just a few things I'll mention out of the history of it, and if I run out of time. Okay. So it's really been sort of delightful to see some of the basic ideas used in various places. For instance, we can actually completely prevent routing loops, and most people just give up on that. But this idea of using destination sequence numbers pretty much does the trick. And if you're familiar with RIP, Routing Information Protocol, which is really, really, really old, they started this idea of counting to infinity, and for them infinity was in 15. So how does that work? So if you want to actually get the shortest route, you can get, but your routing metric can get larger and larger, and you pick the shorter ones. But after it gets to be 15, it's infinite, and you don't use it. Well, that's not a very high bound. And they also had poison reverse and split and rise and some other things to deal with this problem of not knowing whether or not the metric is actually true or not. And so it turns out that using the sequence number really fixed that problem. Now I want to show off one thing that I don't think anybody else here has. It's this thing here. It's MobiHoc Boston 2000. And so because we were doing ad-hoc networking and stuff back then, we had an idea, a guy named Nitin Vaidya and other folks decided we needed to have a conference on ad-hoc networking. And so, by golly, we did. We got Dr. Leonard Kleinrock to come do the keynote speech, and he is about as entertaining a guy as you can imagine. He knows everybody, and did a lot of work around the industry, as well as graduating, who knows what, hundreds of graduates. So he was great, and we just had a fabulous time. Besides that, it turns out in Boston, they serve pretty good lobster. So that was great. And now here it is, 18 years later, I guess in a couple of years, you'll celebrate the 20th anniversary of MobiHoc and start to have a big party. A couple of years later, Elizabeth organized something called an AODP interoperability workshop in Lausanne, Switzerland. That was with J.P. Roubeau, who is also a guy you ought to try to get to meet. And let's see, well, I'm probably running out of time, but I just again want to really express my appreciation, and I'm sure that Elizabeth really, if she was going to be here. And thank you very much for the honor. I'm not going to lose this, and I'm very happy to be here. So I guess with that, I'll turn it back over to you. I'm completely out of water in my mouth.